welcome back to Becoming Brittany J. My name is Brittany J. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. But today's topic that we'll be discussing is going to be being resistant to change. Now, the only reason that I'm making this video is because I feel led by God to do so. Earlier, I was like listening to music, going through like, praise and just praying and stuff like that. And, I just been in a season of my life where there's been a lot of changes happening. And I just felt so led to discuss this topic because it's like not only in relation to like my situations that I'm currently going through and have been dealing with over time, these past few months, but when I feel led to make a video and discuss what it is that I'm feeling and what I'm going through, I already know that it's God wanting me to do this so I can connect with whoever it is that needs to hear this message or this word that's, gonna come from this. So that's why I'm making this video. And it's not like I just wanted to. A lot of times we don't like to just talk about the things that we're dealing with that don't feel good. So this is a lot for me, but I know it's going to help somebody else and it's going to help me as well too, just to release and get it out. So yes, resistant to change. A change doesn't feel good. Change doesn't always look nice. Change doesn't always look pretty. Change is uncomfortable. Okay. Sometimes I think we get so stuck in the things that are happening in our life that's causing some disruption, which is the change, that sometimes it's hard to connect with God the way we want to because we're not seeing things turn over, how we expect them to. I had to learn for myself personally, like if I truly have faith and believe in God, for the things that He say He's going to do in my life, then I have to be accepting to change versus resisting it. And I think the only reason we resist change is because it does not feel good. It's uncomfortable. So when something makes us uncomfortable, the first thing you want to do is get yourself back into a place of comfort. So I've been just kind of going through just the motion of life for real, trying to continuously fight through myself not being placed back in a position of comfort. I know growth comes in discomfort, but just going through the motions of life, sometimes I think just walking, we can kind of lose our like full awareness of like what's going on around us, full awareness of how we're feeling. Like we may be feeling, but sometimes we ignore it. So, that's just kind of something that I've like been dealing with, been experiencing when it comes to being receptive to change, and not being resistant to it. When things start to get too heavy and too like overwhelming or overbearing, then we start to get hesitant as far as like talking to God and asking God like to help us get through the things that we are going through and dealing with. And I think for me personally, like it I feel like, okay, y'all know my journey, y'all know my story of just transitioning happened in my life rapidly, from the time I did the 30-day fast to the time God immediately had me move from Atlanta to Dallas till now. Like a lot of other major challenges have been happening. Now I'm not gonna share them just yet, but eventually I will when I feel led to. But I feel like, over all this time, like a year and a half, I feel like I've been sacrificing so much for God. I've been sacrificing so much for God. And sometimes we don't see like I guess the return on the things that we're doing for our time and our energy and literally everything that we're sacrificing, that we kind of get discouraged into really believing that is God gonna really do like the things He promised for me for real. And it's crazy because literally like I always preach about having big blind faith and stuff like that. And I feel like right now in this season of my life, my faith is like mustard seed faith, but I still have faith. That's the only thing I think that matters, is that I still have faith. And also allowing myself to know that every season of my life is not going to be the same. It's going to require a different version of myself. It's going to require different like changes where everything is not going to be the same. I may not be as consistent as I am in this season as I was in the last season. I may procrastinate a little bit more in this season than I did the last season. So it's really me like being okay with that and knowing again that I'm human and I'm not perfect. And yeah, I just have to remain, you know, in faith and continuously pouring out to God and praying to God. Because I'm not gonna lie, like it gets discouraging when you are being obedient and when you are being faithful and when you are like doing everything that God wants you to do. It's just like, all right, I done gave all of this stuff up. I done sacrificed all of this, and I don't really feel like there's no movement happening for me, And that can get very discouraging, especially like as a believer, and you solely like depending on God and stuff, and you just see all of this other stuff happening around you with other people and all of that stuff. It kind of can get discouraging, even if you're not a person who compares yourself to other people. Just seeing different things, it's just like, okay, like I've been obedient, I've been patient. When is it gonna be my time? Like all of that stuff. So I'm just trying to make sure that I do what I need to do. I speak out when I need to speak out, and I'm just obedient. It's been a struggle for me. It's been very hard because, like I said, I just been giving like my all, literally. And I'm not gonna lie, like I've been kind of fighting with myself. I feel like it's this like push and pull type of situation going on where I'm being tugged in one area and tugged in the other area. Almost like how they say that you have the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder. It's like I try not to fall back into my old ways and my old habits because it's so easy and it's so comfortable. And I think that's the like thing that's like been getting to me, because I'm like, I can easily just go back and do this and do that and do that. But it's just like, is that what God really wants for you? Like, He didn't take you this far and allow you to go through all of these things just for you to go back into who it is that you used to be. So it's like almost like a push and pull type of thing. That's kind of how I've been looking at it. Because I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I fight with myself every day, like fighting just different things, fighting urges and all of these things to just go back to like who I was. But I know that's not who God, has called me to be. So I really have to like remain just in who it is that He has like allowed me to grow into and become. Because, consistently every single day I grow, I learn something new about myself. So I'm trying to stay on the angel side and not get pulled back into you know, my old ways and the old Brittany. I'm trying to continuously walk into like, the person that I'm becoming every single day, and I don't want to like look back because I know where I know it doesn't lead me where I need to go. And then just kind of going back into realizing why God had me start doing the things that I was doing previously before that didn't make sense to me at the time. When I first made this YouTube channel, when I first made my new Instagram page, at the time when I first started doing it, none of it made sense to me. None of it made sense to me. I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't know who it is that I'm supposed to be talking to. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't think it was going to be like beneficial to other people. And then just me being so very vocal on Instagram, I was not doing that stuff before. I was not speaking out before. I was not saying nothing. I was just on Instagram, posting my little toxic stuff every now and again, posting my traveling, me eating good, and all of that type of stuff. And that was it. But when God pushed me to actually like use my voice and be a vessel and talk about the things that I go through and deal with, at first it did not make sense to me, but over time and even now, I see why I did it. Not even just for the benefit of other people and helping other people, but for this moment right now, so I can go back and look at my videos and see how much I've grown and the things that I've overcame previously before. So even during those times and moments where my faith was very little, and even during those times and moments where my faith was very big, I can go back and look at those situations and those videos to really understand that God is going to pull me through every single time. So, you know, that's why I wanted to make this video, really to just help encourage and inspire people to not be resistant to change, to be receptive of it, because you never know what God is trying to reveal to you, what God has on the other side for you. I've learned along this journey that even though I may not know what's on the other side, I always know it's something, for the greater good, and I may have to go through things that don't feel good for me to get there. And I don't know the timeline of when I would get there, but I know God don't have me going through none of this stuff for nothing. God don't have you going through none of this stuff for nothing. So yeah, I just want to talk about that. And then also, like, God is just very strategic with how He does things. So sometimes we try to resist the things that's like happening because it's like, this may be too good to be true, or I don't know if this is what you want me to do. That's why it's always good to go back and talk to God and connect with God. I know during times like this, it's very hard to talk to God because you feel like, God, like, I've been talking to you. nothing changing, nothing happening for me. So I kind of had like a moment like that this morning. Like, like I've been talking to God, but I haven't really like been talking and like pouring into God like how I was before. So I had a little breakdown type of moment this morning because I needed that. I needed to get back closer to God, and I feel like God been showing me that, been showing me different signs, like, surrender to Him. Surrender all your problems and your worries and your fears and your doubts to Him. Because if you don't, guess what? You're gonna be holding on to it, and you can't fight through none of that stuff alone. So, yeah, I just be needing those reminders. So, I hope this can be a reminder to you all. And then also, I had like a little Bible study with my friend yesterday, and it was just so spot on and so intentional and so strategic with how everything kind of just was put together and how I received the message, just as like far as like, the story with Noah and him building his ark, and just allowing me to see like the major faith that Noah had, and it makes me realize, like it's nothing for me to worry about. And even if I don't know when or where or what, just continually have faith and know and trust and believe that God is going to make it happen for you. If He has made a promise to you, and even if you don't know what that promise is specifically to the T, still walk in and do what it is that you're meant to do, because you don't know what comes out on the other side. Just trusting Him. So yeah, that's me talking myself through this little roll bump that I'm going through in my life, but it's also to help you, like help inspire you, help uplift you, help motivate you. So I hope and pray that this helped you, because it helped me just kind of talk it out. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. Stay tuned for the next video. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Becoming Brittany J to stay up to date with my journey in real time. And also make sure you shop my fall collection for my candles. That's going to be at becomingbrittanyj.com as well. And you'll be able to shop the candles on my site. So until next time, you guys, peace.